Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel of Mr. Football Balloons, and today I'm doing Game Week 30 predictions of the Premier League, and I'm going to be starting off on the 30th of March. It is at St James's Park. It's Newcastle United versus West Ham United, and this is going to be a big game. Both teams fighting for that Conference League spot, maybe even Europa League spot. Well, Newcastle United are in 10th, West Ham are in 7th. You know what? West Ham United, they were a bit unlucky with those two disallowed goals. Obviously, David Moyes did not enjoy that. He thought that it was definitely a goal for the last one when it came off of Souček's hand, I think. But, you know, it is what it is. But Newcastle United, they lost in the FA Cup last. It's against Manchester City. We can just go past this game. Manchester City on Manchester City. It's the Mickey Mouse Cup anyway. But Newcastle also did lose against Chelsea, which was a bit concerning, considering Chelsea are a bit meh in recent time. But Newcastle, they're home here. They've had a bit of a break. And I feel like Newcastle are on a bit of an up before the Man City loss and Chelsea loss after winning 3-0 against Wolves was fantastic. And I feel like if it was away from home, if Newcastle United were away against West Ham, I would go for a draw. And I was tempted to go for a draw, as at St James's Park, a lot of the time it has been a draw. But I am going to go with home advantage at St James's Park. Newcastle's time to shine, and I'm going 2-1 to Newcastle United come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, is at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea versus Burnley. And well, Burnley now, because of Nottingham Forest getting 4 deducted points, this is going to be huge for Burnley to push, and they've already started. Managed to get a very good 2-2 draw against West Ham United. Then they went on to win it against Brentford, most probably because right at the start they forced Brentford to make a mistake. Brentford went down to 10 men and they had a penalty as well. That probably helped them a lot. If that didn't happen, it could have easily been a Brentford win. But Burnley, they're looking very, very good. 4 points in the last 2 games, and they're going to be eager. And considering Chelsea, yes, they have gone on an unbeaten streak. You know, in the last 4 games in the Premier League, they are unbeaten. And also Chelsea did win in the FA Cup 4-2. And that's fantastic. Chelsea are on decent enough form. But knowing Chelsea, they could be on fantastic form and easy blip up. And because Burnley are desperate, because they're starting to pick up a bit of momentum, I could easily see this being a draw. Considering Chelsea's inconsistency, this could easily be a draw. I won't go for a win for Burnley because Chelsea's kind of unbeaten in the last 4. So I will go down the middle for a draw in this one. I do feel like Burnley can definitely get a draw against a Chelsea side that's a bit hit and miss. So I'm going to go 1-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, is at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United versus Fulham. And well, obviously I'm going to go for Fulham. Sheffield United, you know what? They did well to get a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth in the last game. It's a point. They really needed 3 points. And well, out of any of the team, I think it's logical they're going to have to go down, because I don't see any other team other than Sheffield United. I feel like Sheffield United are probably definitely down. Out of all the teams, have all the options to go down, Sheffield United definitely. Especially after Fulham winning it 3-0. Man, their defence is insane. Robinson in the left-back position, fantastic. He makes some great attacking runs, great attacking dribbles, and defends fantastic. A clean sheet against Tottenham, which have scored in every single game, I think, for like the last year or so. To get a clean sheet against a Tottenham that have scored in every single game after a year is sensational for Fulham. I'm going to say they're going to get another clean sheet. If they could get a clean sheet against Spuds, they're definitely going to get a clean sheet against Sheffield United. It's going to be a comfortable 2-0 win to Fulham come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it is at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. As you all know, they have been deducted 4 points, which could have been worse, could definitely be worse. But Nottingham Forest, they're home against Crystal Palace side, which haven't been doing fantastic. Although with Oliver Glanzer, I would say the results are very similar to Roy Hodgson's, but I would say they are looking slightly better. Only slightly, in my opinion. They're only looking slightly better under Oliver Glanzer. I thought Nottingham Forest, they're going to be determined. They really seriously need 3 points in this game, especially against a team that's only in 14th. But they got a draw against Luton Town, and I feel like both teams are quite equal in quality. I might have said a Crystal Palace win under a new manager, Oliver Glanzer, but because Nottingham Forest are at home, because that City ground is absolutely lightning, that the home ground is fantastic. Last season they had a fantastic home form. This season their home form's been pretty decent. But I'm not going to say a win. I'm just going to have to go down the middle. I don't know who's going to win this, so I'm going to go 1-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next games at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth versus Everton, and you know what? This is another tricky game to predict. I know Everton are obviously, I think they are lower down in the table than Bournemouth, obviously because of the 5 points deduction that they got. But Everton, you know what? The last game, they did face Manchester United, and they created 23 shots in that game. That is really, really good. Everton, they are playing fantastic. One of the best defensive records in the Premier League at the moment, and they are looking really, really good. Once they've got their goal scorer in place, they could easily hit top 10. In my opinion, Everton are a really good side. If they go down, I would not understand why. Everton, I'm really hyping up Everton at the moment. But what am I going to say in this game? Well, they're still not getting results, Everton. And I don't see it changing much after I don't feel like they've got that proper number 9, properly established Premier League number 9. So I am going to go down the middle. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I know I have gone for a few 1-1 draws, but I'm going to go for another 1-1 draw in this game between the two sides. Moving on to the next game is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham Hotspur versus Luton Town. You know what, Luton Town, they played all right against Nottingham Forest, a 1-1 draw, but you know what? They're above Nottingham Forest. They're no longer in the relegation zone. They must be absolutely buzzing. And you know what? Considering Fulham thrashed Tottenham 3-0, maybe Luton could do something. Maybe if Luton was at Kenworth Road, I will edge it to 2-2. You know what, Tottenham? I don't think they're actually going down a downfall after a 3-0 loss against Fulham, especially after they managed to win it 4-0 against Aston Villa. I honestly think that was just a bit of a blip, and it's just 1 week where they were just absolutely shambolic. I feel like they can easily bounce back this week, although it won't be completely easy, as Luton Town, they're scoring so many goals in recent time. And when Luton Town, like I said last week, when Luton Town are playing, it's going to be high-scoring goals for both teams. So I am going to go for very high scoring for both teams, and I'm going 3-2 in this game. It's going to be a very exciting game, but obviously towards the home side, Tottenham Hotspur. Moving on to the next game is at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is going to be a very interesting game, but I think I am going towards the home side purely because they're higher up in the league. They are home, and they're known for a fantastic home record, although it was broken a couple of times in recent time. But I feel like after not getting a win in the last 2 games, Aston Villa have to be bouncing back, especially that Wolves, no Pedro Neto. He didn't last much of the last game, and I think Hwang Hee-chan is still going to be unavailable. Cunha may be available coming into this game against Aston Villa. Obviously, that's like their electric front three. That's the main front three that they usually use week in, week out. But it is compromised, their front three, and I feel like because of that, because they're away against a Unai Emery side, which has been sensational the last couple of years, yeah, it's going to have to be Aston Villa at home. And I'm only going to go just about because I know how good Wolves are playing, but I'm going to go for a very common scoreline, 2-1. To the home side, Aston Villa. Moving on to the next games at the GTEC Stadium. It's Brentford versus Manchester United. And Manchester United, what a fantastic game. 4-3 in extra time. Right at the end, Manchester United managed to win it in the FA Cup against Liverpool. Well done, Manchester United. I would say in the last, month, you could say, maybe the last few weeks, they have been looking much, much better with a few blip-ups here and there. But coming against Brentford, Brentford, what is happening? Like, that Brentford side should not be doing that bad. Mbeumo has returned, which is a huge one. With Ivan Toney and Mbeumo, with 11 men coming into this, unlike, obviously they had 10 men in the last game. Maybe coming into this game with a full starting 11, with Mbeumo back, which is sensational, and with Ivan Toney, with a refreshed mindset at home, maybe they could do something against Manchester United. Now, I am actually going to go for a shocker. You'll probably think I'm going to say like a win to Manchester United, but no. I'm going to go Brentford purely because I know Brentford can do really well. It's shown it last season, and the squad isn't that different from last season. So, I am going to edge Brentford in this. I know it's a shocker, but Manchester United haven't been all there all throughout the season, have they? And Brentford, they are desperate. They need 3 points. And I feel like they will stay up, but they're going to have to get it in this game. And I am going to say 2-1 to Brentford come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game. It's a whole new day. It's the 31st of March. It is Liverpool at Anfield facing Brighton. Obviously, Liverpool, the quadruple is not happening. They are not winning 4 trophies this season. They can still win 3, and I feel like they might win the Premier League. They could easily win the treble this year, but they're facing Brighton. You know what? Brighton's never an easy opponent. But in recent time, Brighton haven't been as good as they were last season. They've been a bit inconsistent. Sometimes they might win a massive game like 4-1, and the other time lose at 4-1 against a terrible team. But I am going to have to say Liverpool. They're home. Anfield, they have one of the best home forms. Actually, I think they've got the best home form in the Premier League statistically. It is sensational. Anfield is an absolute masterclass stadium. I'm going to have to go Liverpool. Sorry, Brighton. I am going to say 3-1 to Liverpool come the final whistle. Now, we are moving on to the next game, which all you guys probably know what it is. It is at the Etihad Stadium. It's Manchester City against Arsenal. What I'm about to predict will decide the Premier... Well, you could say it decides the Premier League, depending how Liverpool get on against Brighton and depending on all the other games coming up. But this could take a huge factor into who's going to win the Premier League. And I really don't know who to go for, Manchester City or Arsenal in this game. It's so hard because Arsenal have been battering teams. You know, battering teams in recent time. They've won against Man City and Liverpool. But Man City are home. And I think Kevin De Bruyne will be returning for this game, whether he'll start. And Phil Foden's playing fantastic. He is sensational. Left foot dribbling is at another level. Best Premier League player, you could say. I'm going down the middle. I really don't know, which probably means I think Liverpool win the league. I've already said it multiple times, and I'm still sticking by it. Liverpool will win the league. And I am going to go 2-2 come the final whistle. I know it's a bit boring, but I am going to go 2-2. And there you go. It's going to end off there. It was a huge week. Man City versus Arsenal being the biggest game. But who was my goal of Game Week 29? And well, there wasn't many goals because there's only 8 clubs competing in Game Week 29. 4 games. But I'm going to go for Antonio's goal. It was a great diving header. A great ball into the box. A great setup. Antonio's my goal of Game Week 29. And how did I do in Game Week 29? Obviously, there was only 8 points up for grab, and I managed to get 2 out of the possible 8 points. And overall, that puts me on 169 points. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did, why not check out this video right here. Toodle pip!